ShortMeTina once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. A few things before we start off. We are going to start off a little bit differently today. So for those that are not trading or investing in cryptocurrencies, you might want to skip the first 5 or so minutes of this video, because I'm going to devote the first few segments to analyzing Bitcoin and Litecoin and maybe some others, or we'll just keep it to them too. Not too sure. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if this is your very first time tuning in and you're new to our channel, I want to say welcome. Drop a comment in the comments section. Let me know how you found us. Tell me whether or not you agree with my analysis. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. We like that sort of stuff. Or if you have nothing to say in regards to the analysis and you just want to say hi and let me know your name, or to let me know that you're tuning in, that's just as fine. Drop a name, drop a comment, let me know your name. For those of you that have been my ride or die for the 800 or so, and we're growing, my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the ending of April. For those of you who are a part of the community, you're subscribed, you tune in every single day. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. You guys keep me motivated, you keep me up, you keep me connected to the markets, and you keep me continuously trying to find that next winner, that big stock that can run, that can benefit not just my premium members, but everyone that's connected in our ecosystem, the ShortMeTina ecosystem. So I wanted to put that out there. And before I start as well, so if you're not subscribed to our free newsletter, please pause this video and go to ShortMeTina.com and hit that subscribe button. I release every so often free trade ideas. Most recently, last week, I released, and I'll cover it in this video, ticker BMY, a short that we took that has netted us decent returns, and I'm going to be releasing another stock that we just hit our price target on. This is a trade on the long side. I'll be releasing it first and foremost to folks that are subscribed to my newsletter. So again, a new trade idea will be dropping soon to my newsletter subscribers. So if you're not signed up, make sure you do so. ShortMeTina.com. Okay, so we're going to kick it off, as I stated, with Bitcoin. So definitely the cryptocurrency is on the run today. It's up about 16%, but if you've been following the cryptocurrency space, you should know 16% for me, it's like a drop in the bucket. But considering we've been so depressed since hitting highs of around 20,000 back in December of 2017, since we've been so depressed, it's nice to see this huge move. So couple of things, 2 points of support that's standing out. The first point obviously is the one that has held since November of 2018. That's around, we can say, the low 3,000s. Sitting here at north of 5,000, we're about a few points above, well, more than a few points, but we're a decent amount of percentages above that support of around 3,000. It is running into resistance. We can call that 6,000. If Bitcoin can break and hold above 6,000, we will be trading in a range that has held more or less since the run-up began back in 2017. So for me, that would bode well for Bitcoin. Full disclosure, I do own Bitcoin. I am long. I'm not trading it, right? I'm not in and out like a lot of folks. I am just buying to hold to see where this goes within the next 5-10 years. In terms of investment, I am more than, how shall I say, comfortable with my Bitcoin position. I do not think I'm going to be let down. So if you are looking to trade in and out of this, 2 points you should be paying attention to would be the lower end of support. We can call that 3,000. That's that blue line right here. We're running into resistance. That fuchsia line that comes in at around 6,000. If it can get above that level and hold, I will be bullish. I mean, I am bullish in the longer term, but from a trading perspective, that would be your cue to go long. What else? And then we have Litecoin, another coin that's on the move, up about 22%. Right now we're sitting at 73.67. It's above that resistance, one support area of around $50. So it's basically been on an uptrend since December of 2018. Again, nice move since bottoming out here in December. It does not run into, in my opinion, any real resistance until we get to $80 to $90, right? If we can break above that and hold, that bodes well for all those cryptocurrency Litecoin longs like myself. Full disclosure, I do own Litecoin as well. So for me, what I'm looking at, as long as it can stay above 50, I'm good. Yeah, that's kind of it. If it can stay above 50, I'm good. But based on price action now, this green candle, huge, nice move. I can see 80 to 90 in the cards. And then I think we'll run into a little bit of resistance. So even if we run into 80, 90, pull back, as long as we can stay above 50, the uptrend remains intact, in my opinion. So Bitcoin, Litecoin, for those of you who are cryptocurrency fanatics, I am long, I'm with you. Nice to see good price action today. Hopefully this can continue into the summertime, and hopefully we can retest all-time highs. I'm not quite sure. What was all-time highs for Litecoin? Around north of $400, I believe, or maybe a little bit over 400. So hopefully we can get there. What do we see here? Yeah, here it has about 360. So that's my take on Litecoin. Long and bullish in the longer term. What else? All right, and so back in normal land, right? Back in the land of the regular, good old-fashioned stock market. So right now we're looking at the S&P 500, the SPY. It's a daily chart. I don't know, every time I look and I talk about cryptos and then I switch into just regular equities, I just feel like the cryptocurrency markets, it just seems a lot more fun. I don't know, but that's just me. But anyway, so the SPY daily chart dating back to 2017, I'm going to make this really quick. The SPY, again, has been trading in a channel, in my opinion, since 2017. Support, resistance, with the exception, right? There's been a few exceptions. The first time we overshot this resistance area, very, very short-lived, a few days until we went plummeting back. Then we once again broke through resistance in, you can say, mid-July, right, or middle of the year of 2018. We overshot this resistance level of around 280 to 282. That one wasn't so short-lived. However, it was short-lived, could not be sustained. We went crashing back. And then we even broke support in December to go as low as 234, around there, around that 234 area. So while the SPY has been in a channel, there has been instances like I highlighted before, here, and most notably right now here, where we've kind of bucked that trend. So sitting here at 285.63, we are about a few basis points above that resistance level of 280 to 282, but like I've indicated before, it's all about sustainability. Today the market more or less is kind of flat, very boring in my opinion. If you look here, there wasn't much volume. So for the SPY in the market at this point, it is kind of a wait and see kind of a game, right? If the SPY pulls back to 280 to 282, is that alarming? Is that concerning? No, because once again, it would be within that resistance area. So long as it stays above, you have to be bullish, right? As long as it, and you know, you can have your opinions, I can have my opinions, but if you're looking at the chart, right, and you look at the history for the past 2 years, you have to conclude that, hey, if it's above this level, it always has the ability to do what it did back in 2018, which is, you know, kind of drift away or veer away from that resistance level, right? It kind of ran for a short period of time. So this time around, which will be the third time, we tried it once, twice, let's call this, if we're going to lump it and group it, let's call this time number 3. Will we go on to retest all-time highs? I believe that we will, but I'm going to let the charts dictate to me what it wants to do. So as long as it can stay above 280 to 282, I have to be a bull. I just have to be. What else? All right, the IWM daily chart. I'm not going to really talk too much about this. So we closed at 154.36 for me. It may have put in a double bottom here. We can call that low 150, boom. We're running into resistance. Resistance comes in at around 158 to 160, similar to the SPY. If it breaks above that area like it did here, there's a chance that it can actually run. So if it breaks above 158 to 160, I have no other choice but to place my chips on the long side, because the last time, right, you know, I pay attention to charts. If I'm to look at the past history, right, if I'm to look at the history of what went on before to sort of guide me and to dictate what might happen in the future, if it breaks above, once again, that 158 to 160 level, when it did here, I'm going to conclude it's going to repeat itself and it's going to go on and potentially hit 173. So if I'm looking at probabilities and risk, I want to take that trade on the long side, right? Make your life simple, simplify things. What else? And then we have ticker GME, GameStop daily chart, closed at 1010, off about 2.6%, and after hours we're actually down 8% more. The last print I saw was for $9.26. So you're asking me, is this a short? In my opinion, it's not a short, being that the stock is already depressed in my opinion. And generally speaking, and this is actually, if you take a trade on the long side, you'd be trading counter trend, because the trend, if you take again a longer term view going back 2, 3, 4 years, you'll see that GameStop has been in a decline for a very long time. So taking a trade on the long side would be trading counter the long-term trend, and I would generally suggest to wait for the pop and then short the pop, right? Because then you'll be trading counter trend. But in this situation, I think the play, in my opinion, would be on the long side, taking advantage of that pop that I think it's getting ready or it's setting up for. So going into tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that print that I just told you about, that 926, that $9 area, to see if it can kind of sustain that or break below. But again, I think a trade is setting up on the long side. And then if after it pops, I think it's going to get that 10-15% pop. And after it pops, then you might want to short the pop, because again, the long-term trend is to the downside, and the safest bet always is to trade within the direction of the trend. What else? And then we have ticker LEVI, up about 1% on the day, closed at 23.01. I'm still monitoring the stock, haven't placed a trade as of yet. So that area that I said stood out for me was around this line here, this blue line, 22.50. We can call that pivot. Anytime it trades above it, you can see that it actually goes on to drift higher. Once we broke below it, like we did here, the stock went lower. So 22.50 is that pivot. I guess you can use that as sort of like your benchmark or your stop loss area. If the stock trades above that, it might be your cue to go long. If it dips below that, you might want to let go of your trade. I wouldn't necessarily advocate going short at this point. So still paying attention to ticker LEVI, not comfortable going long as of yet, but that 22.50 area stands out for me. So far, when the stock trades above that, it's bullish. Below that, it is bearish. What else? And then we have ticker LYFT, Lyft, an hourly chart. We closed at 69.32 today, so the selling kind of subsided. So again, there isn't a lot of data. The stock has only been trading for 2 or 3 trading days, but for me, there are some numbers that are standing out as of now, and I have them here on the chart. The first being that $80 level, right? That's when the first break actually happened, and you can see selling really intensified based on both the candle, the actual shape and structure of the candle, as well as confirming volume. So 80, for me, that's when buyers started to let go. They couldn't hold it up much anymore. 66.12, that's highlighted for me because after all of this selling, this is where buyers actually stepped in and said, you know what, time to hold up this stock. So 66.12 should signal for you, or in my mind, hey, that's when buyers step in, right? So for right now, the buyers are saying, we don't want this going below 66.12. And the last number, not as important as the 80 and the 66.12, would be 67.68, because that's essentially the low for the last 3 hours of today's trading. So not ready to make the plunge yet with ticker LIFT. I'm still watching. These are the numbers that I'm paying attention to. Do these numbers make sense to you? Do you see why I'm highlighting them? Comment in the comment section. So for me, as trading continues with ticker LIFT, I will be paying attention to these very numbers, in particular 66.12, and definitely in particular 80. Obviously, if it can get above 80, extremely bullish. If it goes, if it retests 66.12 or 66 and it can hold, that automatically tells you that people or folks are willing to buy the stock around that $66 level, and if that's the case and you're following the crowd, you should do so as well. And again, to a lesser extent, 67 to 68, because for the last 3 hours of today's trading, those levels held. So not ready to pull a trigger on Lyft. Those are numbers I'm paying attention to. To be continued. I will be back when there is more information. What else? All right, and so I'm gonna like speed through the remainder stocks that I have to analyze, only because I took so long to do the first 5 or 6. So we have ticker NIO daily chart. We're up about 3.5% on the day. The stock has been in a slight uptrend for the past few days, even today going as high as 561, but for me we are still below that key level of 6, and if you look at volume today, it seems as though sellers dominate. So based on this, based on our candle, I'm expecting more downside going into tomorrow. What you should be paying attention to is the low of 535. If we take that out, there's a great possibility we're going to revisit the most recent low of 490, and that's going to be the telltale sign whether or not it can actually sustain that move and hold that 490 area. If it does, great. I think the stock is going to shoot up. If it can't hold 490, then expect further decline. What else? And then we have ticker MARA daily chart. Nice day, right? Up close to, up north of 19% on the day. We closed at 67 cents. One as high as 77 cents, essentially running into resistance. We see it here. It ran into resistance. It pulled back. Again, gauging or looking at volume, looking at the candle. I'm expecting further decline tomorrow. I would not go long ticker MARA at this juncture. All right, and then we have ticker PTI off about 3% on the day. Not so much if you consider the huge gap down the stock recently experienced. Sitting here at 125, I'm not a fan of penny stocks, especially the ones that are trading at all-time lows. However, if you must and you're looking for a trade on the long side, for me, you might want to wait until the stock pulls back to close to that dollar area and go long. I think you're about to experience a slight bounce. What else? And then we have ticker BMY daily chart. Like I indicated previously, this is actually a trade we took in the premium member community on the short side. It gave us some really decent size returns, about north of 14%, 10 to 14%, somewhere around there. So sitting here at 46.70, remember what I said, it looks like the stock on my watch list that I release for free every Sunday. So if you're not a part of our newsletter or our mailing list, make sure you go to ShortMeTina.com and leave us your email address. At any rate, like I indicated on our Sunday's free watch list, the stock is showing extreme weakness. And then fast forward to today, closing at 46.70. The low of the day is 46.69. So going into tomorrow, if the low is taken out, then there's a real possibility that this stock can, in my opinion, fall to as low as this most recent low of around $44. So still looks like there's potentially more downside for ticker BMY. I'm not saying it's not a stock that you should actually hold on the long side. I'm saying for the past 2 years, the stock has shown weakness. And like I indicated before, I like that I know or have the ability to both long and short stocks, right? You want a short stocks that are showing weakness. You want a long stocks that are showing strength. All right, what else? All right, and so let's round it out with ticker APRN, Blue Apron daily chart. So a bit of news in after hours. It seems as though the CEO is stepping down. It looks like there's going to be a new head person in charge. So although we closed at 96 cents in after hours, we're up about 15%. The last print that I saw was about $1.17, which brings us somewhere around here right before that initial breakdown. So going into tomorrow, you definitely want to pay attention to pre-market to see whether or not this stock is actually going to run. If it can stay sort of above that 117 mark, then there's a possibility that we can actually run to resistance of around 165. So still about 15 cents of, not 15 rather, 50 cents of upside. If it can sustain this move in after hours, I'm not sold as of yet, so I wouldn't jump in. But if you want to take a trade on the long side, definitely pay attention to pre-market activity. If that 117 can hold in pre-market, as well as when regular trading hours are in session, then there's a chance that this stock might actually run. So we're going to cap it there. Tina, once again, from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I would like for you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment. Do you agree with my analysis? Disagree with my analysis? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Just comment. If you're new, let me know. If you're recurring, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. The theme is comment and let me know. That's the first thing. The second thing is, If you want more videos like the one that you've seen today, definitely head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Turn on notifications. I do videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When the stock market is open, you will see a video up there. And lastly, if you want access to that winning trade that we just hit our initial target on, if you want more value, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for listening.